Welcome to Denver Startup Week. I'm Tammy Dorr, President and CEO of the Downtown Denver Partnership and co-chair of Denver Startup Week. This year marks the 10-year anniversary of Denver Startup Week. DSW has been the catalyst for lots of change over the past decade. And this week, we're coming together to celebrate the past and dream big for the future. We are able to bring Denver Startup Week to this community thanks to our 2021 sponsors. Thank you to our HQ and title sponsor, Amazon, and our title sponsors whose leadership makes this week come to life. Capital One Cafe, Downtown Denver Partnership, Fluid Truck, Hotel Engine, and WeWork. And our track sponsors who have made all of the great content you're hearing today possible, our founder track sponsor, Kickstart, growth track sponsor, Friday Health Plans, developer track sponsor, Quizlet, product track sponsor, Palantir, our designer track sponsor, Battery 621, and the Public Works. People track sponsor, Exactly, and Spotlight event sponsor, Strat Labs. Our headline event sponsors are bringing the excitement to the week. Thank you to B-Side Fund, Colorado Public Radio, Comcast, Coors Brewing, Denver Pavilions, Entrepreneurship at the University of Denver, JP Morgan Chase, Method, Moss Adams, Pi Insurance, Promontory Mortgage, PATH, Southwest, Tattered Cover, and VF Venture Foundry. Finally, thank you to our partner and member sponsors, all listed on the screen. Please say thank you to these companies as you enjoy our hybrid Denver Startup Week. And don't forget, use the hashtag DenStartupWeek to share your experiences and moments of inspiration on social media. Have a great week.
The Public Works is a Denver, Colorado-based design, fabrication, and multimedia marketing firm that allows your company to craft an authentic presence to your target audience. For the past 15 years, the Public Works media team has been telling stories with words, pictures, and films. Our unique approach to brand storytelling allows us to get strong reactions and results from our content. We work in experienced and nimble teams with our crew of producers, directors, and cinematographers that all have first-hand experience and international presence. We are fortunate to have amazing clients that allow us to get wherever we need to go with the right tools for the highest production value. Lots of people can take a pretty picture. Just look at Instagram. While we believe our images speak for themselves, what really sets us apart is our decades of experience, our network, and our ability to make shit happen when it counts. We love bringing unexpected partners together to create added value for everyone. And most of all, we love when we finish a job confident that we've not only executed, but elevated the end product, and we know that everyone involved enjoyed the process. Our company was founded on the idea that life is about learning and teaching through every experience. We apply a strict discipline of work hard, play hard, and make great fucking work. We amplify awesome. We surround ourselves with the best and feed off of infectious innovation, ideas, collaboration, and building long-term friendships and partnerships. Contact us anytime for a meeting at our office, golf course, or on the chairlift.
Hi everyone, welcome to Denver Startup Week. I'm Castle, the Designer Track Chair and member of Denver Startup Week Organizing Committee. Before we get started, the Denver Startup Week Organizing Committee acknowledges Indigenous people as the original owners of the land on which we reside, which is the traditional territory of the Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho peoples. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide, ethnic cleansing, stolen land, forced removal, and forced occupation of their territory. And we honor those who have stewarded this land throughout generations and all other Indigenous tribes and nations who call Colorado home. Thank you for joining us in the 10th anniversary of Denver Startup Week. At Denver Startup Week, we strive to make all of our sessions a space where attendees can connect, learn, and grow regardless of age, gender identity, gender expression, race, ability, sexual orientation, or the combination of those identities. There's something for everyone at DSW, thanks to all of our community members who submitted their best content to make the week what it is, and thank you for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors for their support in helping us keep DSW free and accessible to all, especially our designer track sponsor, Battery 621, and the Public Works. With that, please enjoy the session and the entire week.
That's pretty good. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
That was pretty good. It's not easy to do that in one take. That was pretty good.
God. I hate watching that video. Hi everyone, Castle live from the back of the Victoria's Secret, former Victoria's Secret storeroom at the downtown Denver headquarters, presented by Amazon. Just here to welcome Erin, my favorite designer, everyone's favorite designer and personality, and give you a couple plugs. We have a couple more events today. One at Woods Boss Brewing. It's called Cotton Blend. It's a t-shirt art show. Erin actually has a t-shirt in the art show, yeah. I noticed. And all of the proceeds go to Dava Arts, Downtown Aurora Visual Arts. It's a program for kids that don't have art in their schools. So really great cause, and you can have your t-shirt printed right there. Also, we have our last late night party at the Block Distilling Co. at 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock tonight. Hashtag your experience, hashtag Den Startup Week, and thanks for coming, and thank you for being here again, Erin. You guys are in for a treat.
Should I get going?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Right. Do I have to share my screen? Probably, right? Okay, let me do this thing. Can you guys see that? You have
to spotlight yourself.
Okay, does that work? Can you see that? The big.
I see that.
Okay, now I'm gonna go to. Just let me know if this goes to full screen. This looks okay. Does that look okay?
That looks good.
All right, I'm gonna get going here. All right. Before we get going, I have a little housekeeping though. This just in, we have a Mike Arts. Looks like there's a triple parked purple PT Cruiser out in front of the Public Works, Battery 621 there. It's a triple. It's either that or it's maybe he has a fleet of these things. It was a yellow Pontiac Aztec. I think it might have been that one triple parked also to a Mike Arts. So if you guys could look into that, please, and get that figured out. You know, we don't want that shit towed, okay, you guys? All right, let's get this stuff going. Now I got that out of the way. I have an hour, right? 55?
Hour.
Okay, watch how I nail this one right on the dot. Consummate professional, okay? All right, you guys, here we go. Erin Draplin. Okay, let's see here. Let me get on the right app. Okay, this one's called An Update from the Draplin Design Company and Other Lies, Fibs and Perjuries. Okay, we don't need to get into that for legal reasons. Hello, everybody. Howdy. Hello, Denver. This is my third Denver Startup Week deal. I did a couple back to back a couple years back, and then of course that little frisky little bastard COVID came along and screwed everything up. But my name is Aaron James Draplin. All right, I'm back here at Denver Startup Week doing my best virtual deal here. 47 years old, trying to make it to 48. I'm a graphic designer. I live in Portland, Oregon, on the West Coast, and I hope you know about logos that I love to make. That's my favorite thing to make all these years later. I hope you know about field notes all these years later. Always have something new coming every 3 months. You know, get the subscription, do that deal. This way you get them all each year. And, you know, all this stuff comes from merch. I hope you know about, you know, me making all this merch. This wasn't any business plan. This was just to kind of wing it, make fun stuff for friends and clients and things. And it's turned into this pretty awesome little business that, you know, Lee and I can do in the backyard here, closed circuit, ride out the pandemic and, you know, continue to make and ship merch. And it's all at a fair price, right? I mean, this didn't come from some zone of like trying to sell a bunch. It was just fun to make it and give it out to friends, right? Or, you know, to excite a client. So when we go on the road, haven't been able to do this in a couple of years. I miss it. We were doing these night markets here in town. They were incredible. And people coming. We were doing it every couple months, right? And of course, on the road at all these, these speaking gigs and stuff, we were setting this shit up too. But we haven't done much of this. In fact, we haven't done a merch table. I did one maybe a month ago in Fort Worth, but that was pretty tentative. We were just kind of doing it with one eye open, and masked up in the whole bit. I hope you know about all my skill shares. We're up to number 7. The most recent one came out about getting dirty and stuff. And that would have been, I don't know, I guess maybe a couple months ago. That one's great. Go check that one out and get dirty with the DDC. Skillshare has been great to me. It teaches kids who are just starting out, and then of course, kids who are experts, we'll just say. And that's really something that we try to do. We make it for everyone, all sorts of folks, right? DDC hardware is a typeface that I made about 5-6 years ago, but it continues to do the job. I saw it on a football promo this morning. That's cool. But I'm not a typographer. I'm not a typographer. So, this thing, it defies sort of logic, the way that I was actually able to make a typeface and put it out into the world and have it be sort of, dare I say, as successful as it's been. It's been awesome. So everyone who got a copy, thank you so much. Go over to ddcfonts.com and download one and get it going. If you're a student, come check it out, all that kind of stuff. You can use it. But listen, I know things have been weird the last year and a half. We're coming up on just about 2 years now, but my falls looked like this. And this is dripping with just this weird kind of privilege of I can't believe I used to stare down this kind of stuff. Adobe Maxes and all kinds of things. Look at Denver Startup Week in there. Going to Austin, going to all kinds of cool stuff. And just had a blast all over the nation in the fall, all the time, but all that stuff ended. One of my last shows before the pandemic was I went to Bratislava. I don't even know where that is. I don't even know what country I was in. I don't even know what language I was speaking, but I got to that crowd. Look at these Bratislavans. It's very weird. I've been so lucky to do basically 450 plus shows in the last 10 years. Spreading my seed all over. It sounds weird, but that's me, action shot, throwing out water bottles to the crowd that I stole from the backstage. And you're not supposed to do that in Bratislava, much less Denver Startup Week. So that's an action shot. The book continues to sell, you guys. I can't believe it. It's in the 8th or 9th printing. It's so awesome. It's been so cool. The best part, it was affordable. It just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper down at Amazon. Go check it out. Grab the book. So proud of this thing. I never thought it would get into that. I was cool with one printing, right? It's cool with one printing. So thank you for everyone who got the book. Still selling. Thank you. And then this, you guys know, I don't want to make it cute or make it funny or anything, because it is pretty serious, and I know I say some dumb shit, but wait. I've been in this backyard here since the summer of 2018. Now, in a sheepish way, I have been able to dodge some pretty weird bullets. We moved in the summer of 2018. I have a house in Portland, and in the backyard, we built this structure here, approved by the city and stuff. And it started with the foundation and walls and insulation and all this kind of stuff. That little corner there goes down into where I'm sitting right now. The little splurge. That's the one dwell moment in here where you have lots of air and, sort of like these cool big lights up above, but everything else is just packed full of merch. That's kind of the idea back here. They painted the thing. It blends in with the neighborhood. It looks like a craft site on the outside. Inside, it's hermetically sealed and just looks all cool and crisp. And we spared no expense. Look at that last little DDC, which connects the house to my shop. And look at this guy who punched that last thing in. The concrete guy, his name was Stumpy or something. Get a good look at those nubs. We spared no expense, hired nothing but the best. But this is where I work. That's where I'm coming to you from right now. Look at that cool door. The USPS comes and picks up our merch daily, out of the backyard here. And this is where we've been, because of this little guy. We've been curiously compliant here in Portland and elsewhere. No one's storming the Walmart here, right? Everyone's been pretty cool about it. Everyone's got their masks up, all that kind of shit. I know everything changed for all of us a little over a year ago, on this scary date. I remember all of it, we locked it down, you locked it down, America locked it down, whatever you want to call it. This is what it looks like for us here. Here's my shop. I have a tough shed, another tough shed. There's a big fence, keeping all those anarchists out, which is complete bullshit to my Fox News uncle. There's some skirmishes here because these good old boys come down from Washington and start fights with all these, people that actually are concerned about human rights and things. Anyway, that's where Lee parks her car. And this, the 10-step commute. Okay, nothing but the facts. This has been our little 5,000 square foot universe, the last, not just a year and a half in this scary time. It's been 3 years now, right? And we designed our life in Portland to accommodate what I could afford and what space we needed, right? So, okay, March 15th, a year and a half ago, Portland goes into hibernation. Well, so did we, right? Now, I turned it all off. And why I like to talk about this is like this, I feel weird about this because I was never in the position to be able to turn things off. I've said yes to just about everything for years and years and years. And frankly, that's what allowed me to, pay off my house. And I know you're not supposed to talk money and shit, but that's my most, proud moment with graphic design was that I got ahead with this stuff. So when this stuff went down, of course, I took a bunch of client work. I knocked it all out. But after a while, stuff started to come flying in that was like, just to help people sort of work. And I'll show all that stuff. But we turned it all off. I wrapped up my client work and, we got into this like uncomfortable time on my hands, like doing the puzzles. Remember all this? It's only a year and a half ago. I got my old NES out, playing Tetris and shit, competing and stuff. Incredible. Lee made a bunch of bread. COVID-19 shit. Talk about COVID-20, put a bunch of pounds on and shit, eating all this bread. My little sister did my nails and continues to do my nails, all locked down, the whole deal. We have like a sort of a closed circuit network here with sisters and stuff. I tuned up the van a bunch, I murdered out some stuff here and there, of course, as safe as possible. Look at that, just pig, that gas pig. Look at that thing. But someone broke the window out on the street, that happens. And I was so mad. I called the Ford dealer. That's going to be $440. No way. I took all the panels off, fixed it myself, put the new thing back on there. And I left a little Easter egg inside because I'm still mad about, that Ford dealer called, $440. No way. I got a bunch of molars out. This is what it looks like when you walk in, and I don't do well with needles or silver shiny objects. I do have to say, the vape community out there, if anyone's listening from the vape community, I really pine to have some neat silver thing in my mouth that lights up. I don't know what it is about that. I want some cool thing with some sort of a peach cobbler scent to it that you can blow in my face while I'm trying to, drop shit off with the USPS. Fucking animals. Anyway, sorry about the language. But then again, the old Battery 621 Public Works people, they broke the ice in that commercial with a couple swearies, with a couple cussies. All right. Did you hear that? I heard it. I was keeping track, like bingo swear words. This is what it looks like when you're staring down the barrel of getting your molars out. That's what it looks like. All 800 pounds of me, all 666 pounds of me sitting there just crying, fidgety. I don't know why I'm showing you this stuff, but I was carving with this time off with my hands. And by the way, can anyone even hear this? Can you give me an audible? Castle, I hear you. Okay, if it's just you, then I'll just do the presentation for you, Castle. You've always been so nice to me. Okay, everybody. Okay, so I was carving, cut the shit out of my finger, but to have time to chill out, it's like I felt guilty because I've kept one hell of a pace for a lot of years, and I know it's a privilege, and I know I'm lucky, and I know that that's not something to be messed with. So, when I turned it back on, I didn't turn on the sort of spigot to be like, give me that client work. It was pandemic projects kind of only, because if I was going to get back into the fray, get all stressed out, it wasn't going to be for a paycheck. And here's why. I heard a lot of stories from friends who every kind of word for furlough, every kind of word for taking a break. And then I had some friends who just got shit canned, you know what I mean? Just regular old fired. And it was scary. So, I like the idea that if I could just use my mouse finger for stuff like this, like only stuff, coronavirus awareness, right? Whatever you want to call it. Like that's a better use of my time instead of, possibly taking from someone else the pool where someone else, wouldn't need that work, dare I say, I know this is all delusional, sure, but that's where my mind was. So I kept getting hit up. But like when Adobe hit me up, it was a big, big channel. And I got to say thanks to a guy, this Eric S., who was this grocery store manager in Denver, I think is what it was. And, they approved all this stuff, but, Shepard Fairey did one, a bunch of other artists did one. And I got to say thank you. And just because here's the deal, when we go to the Safeway here, I was thanking people. I know it's corny, but they're putting their ass on the line if you really think about it, right? And that was really moving to me, to go over and load up at the grocery store and have those people in there, fighting it out for us, for me and you, right? So this poster was a tribute, we'll just say, to, just kind of say, hey, think about that and just be a little bit, be chill when you see these people, and say thanks, little stuff for this thing called COVID. I can't remember the damn name of the thing. It's been a year and a half, but just little graphics to say, wash your hands. This is interchangeable on all sorts of stuff, and, just, I think this is a good thing to get out there, wash those hands. I haven't had so much as a sniffle in the last 19 months because we've been playing by the rules, whatever that means, last 21 months. But see, I go off the rails and I start doing stupid stuff like this, this has nothing to do with the pandemic, just so you guys know, nor this, but making these little things like this, hey, this is for all my little cousins out there who can't quite get that literally word down. Oh man. But here's the thing. When I made a bunch of patches just to say, hey, wear your masks up, and people want a funny patch to have a little bit of levity, we sold a couple thousand of these things. And I donated all the cash to, some food banks in Portland and some other stuff like that, because I didn't need it. And I know that's a lucky position to be in. Other people did. So, to make a little bit of light of this scary thing, we moved the needle a little tiny which way. And that's what I just made my focus, right? But yet this whole time, there's stuff landing in your lap where like, I saw a lot of merch and there's a lot of projects that I did out there that I can never really talk about because of an NDA, with this COVID awareness stuff, because I would swoop in and help some agency. So, I mean, the stuff's just floating around out there, and I can sleep at night knowing that it did, it went that way. I didn't do a lot of client work, so when, to keep the mechanism running, we did a bunch of collabs, which, how do you get to have fun in the time of this scary time? So, we're doing these watches and stuff. And I mean, this isn't anything new. I've been doing this for a year and a half, a couple of years now, but we're up to our 5th run coming this, for this holiday season. When I get these things, they sell out in 5 minutes. 250 sold out in 15 minutes. And then people got hip to it. The next run of 400, 4 months later, sold out in 4 minutes. The next run of 600 was done in 20 minutes or something, 15 minutes. We just did 800, 3 months ago, and we're down to about 50 left because people don't know we still have them in stock. So, I'm making this cool stuff. Like I never thought I'd be able to make a watch for Timex, but here is the coolest part about this little project. When you go to Target right now and you get a Timex watch, they're about 70, 75 bucks. Some are 65, real bare bones. But with a couple extra little goodies, it's 75 bucks and it's affordable. In my watch, I think they're $89.99. You get a little extra orange band, the little crown that's anodized orange, and a bunch of other, light up details, the Indiglow, and all this killer packaging and the whole bit. A little biased, but it's 90 bucks. And not to throw them under the bus too hard, but I saw the Carhartt version of this, where they did the same box and they did the same stuff. And I saw it in Berlin. I know, look at me, when I was in Berlin the last time, it was so rough being a traveling graphic designer. Listen, motherfucker, I got to go to Berlin 4 times now. That is not supposed to happen. This thing in a tiny little European room, If walls could talk, if walls could talk. Well, I was in Berlin. I was at some, badass little hipster store, and it's Carhartt work in progress, and the same exact box and watch and details, but a Carhartt thing for work in progress was 300 euro. So that means they got them for whatever I got them for and marked them up that much. Not down with that shit. I'm not down with that shit. I get them for 45 bucks. I make them 90. And by the way, that's how, you got to pay some shipping and shit. But the idea is this is a fair priced product, and they are cool as shit. They are cool as shit. But that meant a lot to me, much like the book. And I was told and made fun of by lots of experts, you could sell that thing for 140. I don't care. That's the best I could do, cheapest we could make it, and the thing kicks ass. So to everyone who bought these last 1,400 or whatever, thank you so much. And to people on the waiting list, there's another chunk coming in December. Everyone just be cool. If you go dig around our site right now, you can find them too. Rumple blankets. What's cool about a blanket? Everyone fits under a blanket. Me, listen, you assholes are at the merch table. You say things to me like, should I get the medium, Aaron, or should I get the large? It's like, that's third grade for me. All right. So enjoy your little, should I do the small or the medium? Where do you even put the spleen inside you people? If you cut me in half, I'm like a tree. My spine is like 12 inches wide. So a blanket fits everyone, right? And I got to make these awesome little scrunchy blankets for Rumple. And look at that one DPI. Sorry, Denver. Sorry. But we got to make a fleece one. And it had this awesome little pouch to put your remote. Because this thing is for the great indoors. Look at that. For surviving the great indoors. Lean-tos, sketchy van, hut, shack, tent, bramble, and or squat. Or watching tube on the couch. That's pretty funny, at least, to me. But look at the little gear pocket down there, right? See a little gear pocket? So, kind of a little pocket for your field notes or your snacks or your vape pen or remote, okay? And, fold it up in this neat little carrying case. And man, these things they're already gone, I did the logo one about 6 months ago. Already gone. They sold 1,000 of those damn things. I got to put all my favorite logos and families and things and my dad and mom and Oliver and peace doves and Santas and shit all over this thing, and they're all gone. So thank you to Rumple. The thing turned out amazing. And everyone who grabbed one, thank you so much. But don't fret, we got a whole bunch of new ones coming and stuff. We got a bunch of new ones coming. The James brand times GDC pocket knife. Holy shit! I got to make a little pocket knife. I use it daily, cutting down, opening up, real serious stuff like opening up paychecks, or opening up little sample merch, little envelopes and shit. But this thing happened. They are awesome. We sell them out as soon as we get them in. There's another big run. May or may not be coming, by Christmas. So stay tuned. But it was awesome. They're 2.5 inches long. Goes on your keychain. They're amazing. My buddies, the James brand. These guys make really cool shit. Now the idea that I got to wiggle in and make a little knife, it's so cool, and I mean, that's just, to make all that cool stuff, it makes me, kind of like challenge this idea of like, well, what about all the client work, because like I said, I didn't take a lot of extra stuff on because some friends had a harder go. I was able to weather this stuff. I say that in a sheepish way. It's like I was able to weather the last 20 months I dodged a bullet. So I got out of the way is the best way to put it. I got out of the way. I still do my little mess. But whenever someone writes me about a job, I have a list of people that I send it off to. If they're the right fit, if she's the one to do this kind of filigree, cool. Hire her, man. She lost her gig or something, stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of that stuff, but that's not something I can talk about on here and make an example of, you know what I mean? So there was a little bit of client work. I got to do this big mural for Danner Boots here for the Danner times the Timbers, right? Which was so cool. Like, I don't know shit about soccer. I mean, does Denver have a soccer team? Maybe they do. I don't know, but we have the Timbers, and it's a big act here in town. And the big rivalry are the Sounders up in Seattle, and that's a big thing. And the place goes crazy. They paint their chests. It goes crazy. People are eating sausages and beer and the whole bit. And I got to do this big mural that went inside the place. So if I can show you this, let me see if I can't get this right real quick. Let me see if I don't even know if you're gonna be able to hear it. Well, yeah, I guess you'll be able to hear it through my screen. Well, let's just go for it. All right. Can you guys still see this okay? Maybe someone give me an audible. You can see this okay. I'm gonna try to get it as big as possible and watch this
I
little.
see it.
Okay. Okay. Let's just see if we can hear it too. Ready? Here we go.
Don't hear anything.
No?
Now I hear.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that thing, I mean, this thing is like, it's real. That's my buddy Jeff Canham right there. An old sign painter guy. Another guy named Colt Bolden that worked on this thing also, Portland guy. But I know Jeff from 20 years ago at Snowboarder Magazine. He was the art director for Surfer Magazine. Now he does murals and all sorts of cool big installations and stuff. And this thing was like, it was like 25 feet wide by, 12 or 15 feet. It was amazing. It's up there forever. So a lot of the graphics and stuff had to be like so like basic to like they're probably not going to change I-84's little graphic anytime soon, or the 405. So that's the kind of stuff that kind of got into there, right? So that was the one sort of little bit of client work I did, I guess, last summer, but it finally showed up this spring, and in form of this mural. Okay, let's get back into this little guy here. Let's see if this works. You guys can see that okay, right. There's the video thing, right? Okay. So I did some other stuff, some of it's NDA, whatever, but there was a bunch of this stuff in the lead up to the election. And by the way, I mean, I'll spare you guys the political rants and all that shit, but I will say I said about 2.5 hours a day to gloat that piece of shit Trump was booted out of office. It's a certain amount of time. After I cash all the paychecks from 2:30 to 5 o'clock is when I gloat that turd has finally been flushed. Okay. So that's science. I spend that 2.5 hours gloating. When I got the call to work for Mr. Biden through a bunch of friends, through Jessica Hish and stuff, of course, I'm going to lend my support. I would have voted for this water bottle if it got on the thing, okay, to oust the other turd. But, we got excited and we started going and we started making things. And of course, I have tons of graphics like this anyway to help, different organizations get out the vote, get out the, all sorts of causes. This stuff is just ready to go. If you ever need this stuff for something you guys are working on in Denver, you hit me up and we'll make it work, right? But when I got to work for Mr. Biden, just to kind of say, hey, everybody, America, come on out, rise up, show up, unite with a bunch of other artists. There was hundreds of artists. It was awesome. Well, I couldn't contain myself, and I did 3 graphics. I just went crazy because I would have voted for really, anyone to get the other guy out. It's just that sort of a tension and desperation, at least from this cockpit. But when he started to get close, I got really fired up, because, all the jokes aside and all the bullshit, to see Pennsylvania go blue was pretty exciting because that's a sea change. It's exciting to see that stuff go down. That shit's not going back anytime soon, This other shit's not working, right? And I know Joe's old as shit and everything else and can't quite get the teleprompter right, but you know what? Spent his life, making, sometimes creepy policies, who knows? But, it's nice to have decorum and dignity, and dare I say competence back in the office again. Isn't that interesting? I'm not fearful of every little word that comes out of those dipshits' mouths. No, it's kind of business as usual. So they made a ton of graphics, but, and I got excited, Joan Commo with the cool glasses on, made a good little graphic, but out of that came a typeface. And I guess, here's the thing is like, I got so excited and I made this little typeface just to accommodate these little pieces of type here, go Joe, right? Out of it came a typeface. And my buddy, Stuart, who watches over, Stuart Sandler, watches over on my dcfonts.com for me. He built this thing all the way out. It's a real deal. It goes for $20.21. Go check this thing out. It came out of this sort of weird tension and fear, for, what was going to happen with that election. I mean, can you imagine another 4 years with that other guy? I mean, what an ugly time. I just hope as adult as I can be, that we can right the ship and get back to being kind, get back to being understanding, get back to trying to have, instead of just being, so shitty. I say some horrible things about him because I don't like bullies. That guy was a bully. The last guy was a bully, and good riddance. So, in this scary, scary time moving forward, I don't do well with needles. I never have, and it's not the needle, it's not the whatever, but it scared me. It wasn't anything conspiratorial. It was like, I just don't like getting the poke. I don't like it being inside me. And that's just something I've had all my life. So I was doing all these little drawings because I had to confront it. And I would rather put it, all over my Instagram and make light of, this big, musk ox getting jammed with the needle. Like, that woman got a running start to get it into my shoulder. But the story of this thing, it's like, I wanted to share that I was afraid and went and did it. I wanted to share that I read about it, and I wanted to share that I trusted, dare I say, Fauci and stuff. I trusted these people, and I read about why and efficacy and all this kind of stuff. And I went and got it like a good citizen and did it. And I just have to say thank you to Oregon, number one, because Portland did it in such a beautiful way. And there I am crying my eyes out underneath my mask, because it's not that it hurt. It was like, I'm not kidding. It was like a mosquito bite, right? It wasn't all that bad, but it was such a beautiful, historic thing, to go in there. And, it was all these National Guard people and stuff. I mean, if I'm betting all of you that are listening have dealt with this also, because, well, you are a concerned citizen yourself. Go get it, do the right thing, get it done, and then beat this shit back like they do in other countries when they're responsible, not just big dumb America. No. They have to do it in other countries because that's what you have to do to be a citizen there, right? Somewhere far away. Well, I went and did it, and I made light of it. And, I made a bunch of stickers and goodies and bullshits, and we donated all the money right back to just, well, the right sort of causes to keep this thing moving. And we did it with graphic design, whatever the hell that means. I'm just proud. I'm proud to have gone and done it. And then, of course, go and try to help proliferate this idea of being a good citizen. My mom got it, she's all right. She's cool. There's been some scary stuff that you read about there. But what was terrifying for me was when I started to show funny little shit like this, just the ugliest, most hateful messages I got from, these assholes, where I kind of always want to say to them, like, wait a second, are you an epidemiologist, or did you go to school for 14 years like other people that study viruses did? Did you do that? No, you didn't. You got a, no offense to small engine repair, but you got a Sally Struthers thing in the mail, of how to be a bounty hunter. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. But I got these horrible messages and just people, just garbage people, garbage messages, propping up a garbage president back and all that stuff. And what do we get? We get garbage, So hopefully we're beating this stuff back. Go get it done. What a privilege it is to get that thing. I have buddies up in Canada who still are waiting in line to get theirs. Think about that when you're hemming and hawing about going to the Walgreens and getting it for free. Think about that shit. We're lucky to be able to have this, right? So, okay, I'll stop there. Some recent work, and we'll go deep on a couple things here. I got to make a pedal for my buddies in Red Fang. Man, heavy metal, tons of hair on these guys. And by the way, they're no spring chickens. These guys are 48 and 50 years old and whatever the hell else. If I'm 47, these guys are getting up there. And they still rock. The new album, Arrows, came out. It rips. Go check it out. But they made a real pedal for Hillbish Design. I got to design all the goodies and little knobs and wigglers and digglers and everything else. And it just turned out incredible. I got to work for a neat thing called NASA. Okay, this was pretty cool. They do a thing. They promote a thing called Science. You might want to look into it. And, it was all about the atmosphere and, the sort of the dynamics of all the different layers and stuff, right? This really simple poster, clean stuff just to talk about. That's what's going on up above us right now, right this very second, just to think about that. People are studying that stuff, right? NASA field notes. We just hit our 50th little seasonal doodad. It turned out awesome. It comes with a whole storybook that comes with it and some stamps and things. That was number 50. Number 52, I guess, would have been, or maybe 50, 52 would have been the most recent one called Harvest. And we have, I think his name is John Burgoyne, the illustrator, this awesome kind of old school illustrator that is still pumping out the most incredible illustration work. And we got him to do these awesome embossed little, gourds and kale leaves and shit. I don't know what the hell that stuff is, little tomatoes. It's harvest time, you guys. All right. Go pick a big gourd and roll around with that gourd. All right. I'm wearing one right now. Here's our new candy corn waxy snack. These things drop Friday. So check it out. Tomorrow, you can come get yourself a creepy ass little candy corn patch or hat or little sticker set or something like that. That goes tomorrow. Just making fun stuff. Here's the new Rumple, right? Here's the new Rumple. This one came out probably four months ago or so. It was all about, the summer and sundowns in the summer, and they made a ton of them. They're still available at a fair price from Rumple. You get them on the DDC too. Just go dig around in our shitty little list of merch, and go check that out. You can grab one of those, but they roll up. They're so awesome. I watch when I'm on that Netflix, I call it the floss. You know what I'm saying? The floss. And I floss deep with these things. I don't need to get into it with the geometry and shit, but man, if that couch could talk, as I like to say, me and that Rumple are one. Jamming through some Hulu. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching Different Strokes on Hulu, going deep in the pandemic. I got to work for the old 97s maybe a year ago, and they did their 12th record with a Roger Staubach theme kind of situation. That was cool. All the liner notes and all the stuff. I've been working for these guys for about 6 years. I've been listening to this band since 1995, 96. So to get to know Red a little bit and all the guys and help out, it's been such an honor. Danner, of course, the Danner Boots, that mural that we did, but I also got to do a bunch of patches and goodies and pins and, the cool scarf and stuff for Danner and the Timbers. This stuff is around forever, man. Those fans are ferocious. It's one thing to make stuff and it just kind of goes away real quick. This stuff, these people are wearing it at the games like right now. I know there's a game a couple weekends ago and one a weekend, whatever it was. They just eat this stuff up, and then they have these special boots for it and the whole bit. I got to do the 50th set for Inch by Inch. My buddies Bob and Drew out there in Indiana's and stuff. Got to work for these guys, and it was all about, called the Cosmic Reminder set. It was all printed up by Mama Sauce. It came with this little fold out thing for each button and a little sticker. And these are still floating around on the DDC site. You can go find one of those for a fair price. But talked about how the universe is, how I like to get about the universe and get cosmic, and all that shit. But, the idea that we're constantly expanding, what does it mean to be in the Milky Way neighborhood? What really does infinity mean? And by the way, we're all stardust. That shit just continues to soothe me, right? All these years later, and guide me and put me to sleep at night, that we are just dust, in the wind sort of, or dust in the universe and all connected. And hell, just be nice to each other. All right. And your dumb uncle who thinks all this shit is whatever, just be nice to him and understand that, if you can't get through to him, that when he dies, the world gets a little bit better, something to that effect. DDC Hardware, we built a website for it. It's cooking. DDCfonts.com is real and going and selling like crazy. Shows all the case studies. You can go test it out there. Thank you to Stuart and the team back there on this. I'm so thankful that these guys helped me build this thing to a real thing. We have proper licensing now where you can go in there and actually figure out how to use this thing for, Fox News or whatever the hell, Fox Sports, or that uses, I saw it this morning, or for your food cart. It's all in there, right? There's a thing you can download that shows you exactly who you need to contact and how, and the licensing and sizing and all that cool stuff. So thank you to Stuart Sandler for rescuing me from this stuff. Continue to work for John Hodgman. About a year and a half ago, I got to do another version of Vacation Land for him with sort of a summer themed cover after that first one, and then did the second book, Medallion Status, had corgis and a little couple of illustrations I did of John and some stuff, and it just turned out incredible. I love working for Hodgman. I'm a fan of his podcast. I'm a fan of his mind and his wit and his humor, and he's a pretty cute looking little guy too, so there's that too. Super Deluxe is a burger joint here in town that I am one tiny little owner of. I got to help with this stuff and do all the graphics and all the things and all the stuff and all the wrappers and all the shit. And there's the sign that Dave, my buddy Dave Nakamoto and I made that went on the outside of the place. There's Dave Nakamoto right there, 1DPI. I know, there he is right there hanging out, explaining how smart he is to someone. I don't even know if maybe there's a head right there, but look at that cool little fizzy drink icon I got to do. And then Dave did all the signage, we did all the shit. Look at all the happy kids, get people buying some tasty burgers. But you know what's cool about Super Deluxe? When you go there on a Tuesday, or even today on a Thursday, that shit's not $30 a burger. You know what I mean? It's like $8 or something, $7.50. I don't know what it is. It's a couple more bucks than like a McDonald's or something, right? Or Burger King. And what I love the very, very most about going to Super Deluxe is when you go in there on a weekday, there's construction guys there and they're eating lunch and they're having a tasty little meal and they're hopefully enjoying the graphics, but they can afford it. This isn't, we're not another one of these little ventures in town here where it's only the cool or only those who, are willing to pay $40 for some arugula salad. No. It's burgers and fries at a fair price. I'm so proud of that. And we're getting ready to open our 4th and 5th stores coming up pretty soon here this next spring. So that's cooking right along. Little weird things like nameplates. I love nameplates, but I made my very first little decimal equivalent chart with some guys up in Vancouver, and we have sold a shit whack of these things. They're $9.99, something like that. Simple price. Keep one by your desk. Use it for all your decimal equivalents, because I'm constantly having to whip out a calculator or find that little calculator app on my thing. I finally did one of these. My dad used to give these things out from like his tool vendors, right? So I made a little DDC one, with the DDC hardware typeface, and they're out there. Go grab one, fair priced, and they look fucking awesome. Weird little skull stuff. I was doing these factory floor Friday things to try to connect with people, and someone said, "How come you don't make a skull?" So we did it. That night we did a skull. Now there's patches and all sorts of cool shit. And you can get all sorts of new stickers with the skulls and things. Listen, this shit's not science, It's fun graphics at a fair price. That's it. Good times, golden buzz. We have a new sticker kit out right now. Go dig around. You'll find it on my Instagram. Fair price. Get a bunch of stickers and those cool bats. And who doesn't love orange juice, The Oregon Coast poster continues to sell. It's doing awesome. And this is going to be sort of jammed into some beer cans and stuff coming soon. And finally, a recent project, I got to do a stamp for a thing called America, right? For you, all you listeners, I got to do a stamp. Why this is cool is everyone gets to use a stamp. And I'll just say it's sort of, without sounding too academic, I know everything else up to this point has been perfectly academic, and now let's go off the rails. It's a democratization of graphic design. Everyone needs a stamp. Everyone has to be able to afford a stamp. I use a stamp to, I paid my taxes, 2 weeks ago and cried my whole way through it. But I use these stamps to send them, off to the IRS in the state of Oregon, right? That shit sucks. I can't go into details, but I use that stamp, much like the next person down the line use that stamp for their benefits, maybe for an application, maybe to pay something off, who knows, but it's, too many times art and design is only for those who can afford it, but a stamp or a stop sign or a customs form, something that we all need to use, that can have good graphic design too. Now, I'm a little partial to what I did. I hope you dig it. But the coolest part was when I I was up in Breckenridge, Colorado, right? At a thing about 2 years ago now, before the pandemic. I was up there doing a little talk in Breckenridge, and the stamp came out, and we went down to I think it was either the Dillon or Frisco office, and we have to exit there off of 70, and went to the little post office, and Eileen said, "Oh, we have those, and those just came out today." And I said, "Well, Eileen, I got to make the stamp." And I almost started to cry. Now look at this. I know she's excited because she's smiling and shit. She was proud to give me, I bought a couple sets from her. But the other hand over here is interesting because I think it's like on a security button or something, because she thinks I'm going to climb over the thing and grab her. I don't know what's going on because, I'm standing there crying. I got to shake her hand and just kind of say thank you. And I got to make a stamp for America, one of my graphic design dreams of all time. There it is right there. And another one came out a couple months, maybe about 6 months ago. That was the Drug-Free America, but I'm a little weird about that one because, the drug war no one really won, but they used my graphics on it, and I don't have much control over that. But I got to make a stamp for America. That's been my favorite project in the last 4 or 5 years. And go check them out. They're out there. They're all sold out. The first run of these was 400 million. Look it up. And they're gone. Now you can buy them by bricks of 10,000 for $5,500, right? 55 cents a stamp times 10,000. Pretty weird. They made a patch. They turned out so awesome. I was so excited. I got to work for my country and use my skills for everybody, not just those who can afford it. Very proud of that, right? We're getting back into it, you guys. We're trying. Lee and I were trying. We went to the Grand Canyon just to be silent and give thanks. And it was incredible. This was back in the spring. Lee and I went out there and we stood around some rocks and, we looked at things in Utahs and Arizonas and Mojave deserts and shit and Palm Springs and stuff. You should have seen me at the house we rented in Palm Springs. They had a pool in the backyard. It's like a fucking Shamu skit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like SeaWorld. So Lee had me like breaching for herrings and shit. It was amazing back there. A lot of circumference, a lot of wicking, a lot of water on skin. All right. It was wonderful. And in the sun, in the 9,000 degree Palm Springs sun. But we went out to nature. Look at my little moonbeam. There she is, everybody. Lee McCauley, everybody. Very patient young lady to be jammed into a rental car with me for 7 days or whatever. May the universe bless her little heart. We went out, we're slowly getting back into it. I went home and saw my mom this summer. That was cool. And then I got to bring my buddy James all the way out west. That was totally cool. All the way back out west. This was fun. Fun has been a weird word. I feel like I'm indulging if I have some fun, so I hope you guys go have some fun also and do it as safe as you can and keep your distance and just play, be cool. We'll all get through the shit together. Right. But wait. One little thing. Any of you guys know Amy Kitt in Denver? Anyone you guys? I know Castle. I know you mentioned it. That was cool. But she has an art show, T-shirt show thing going on for DAVA. I can't remember the acronym. It was something to do with the I don't know the maybe it was the Denver Aaron vaccination awesomeness. Maybe that's what it was, or something to do with helping some kids. So you guys, I got to make a T-shirt for Amy and her thing, and please go check this out and get a bunch of them and help the DAVA thing. She's doing this stuff on a lot of it on her dime and helping get this word out to help a bunch of kids. That is always good shit. None of us make a damn penny on the thing. What's that, Castle? Something?
Somebody just came in the door here, but
that sounds good too. Let me guess. It's a Big Mac delivery. Every now and again, I love. What we need to set up in this fucking town? We need to set up one of those little Ring cameras in the drive-through at the McDougal's about 17 blocks away, because about every 3 or 4 weeks you might catch an Aaron Draplin getting a Big Mac and just hiding the whole way in a 7,000-pound orange van. Anyway, go check out Amy Kitt's deal. You go look at Amy_Kitt. Go check her out, and then go to you guys Denver. Go see it. Go get some cool shirts, because it's not just mine. There's a bunch of artists. My buddy Derek Friday, I know one DPI, sorry. My buddy Derek, I know this guy Derek Friday hits me up every now and again in Boulder. This guy has some killer moves. He made a bunch of shirts too. Go check that stuff out, helping people, and helping in Denver. So you guys go check that out. All the details, you can get them from Castle, or you can get them on, go look Amy_Kitt, go to that thing, be safe, be cool. Go check it out. I think it's tomorrow night. Maybe it's tonight.
Right. Yeah. 6 to 9 at Woods Boss.
Okay, you guys, go check it out. Of course, we're not here to make friends. Well, that's number 2, but go check us out. Draplin.com merch. Go check out Field Notes. Go check out ddcfonts.com and check out my little smoochies, Notes to Self project. She has her own little gear too. You can check it all out. All kinds of little nasty, I like to call them feminine products, but she kind of corrected me on that. Feminist items, little goodies, and little, her boyfriend is a pretty spirited graphic designer, but she got to do a collab with Boss Dog, which was awesome. And then her latest patch is called Bite Me. That's a fun one for all you fans of apples and just bites. So go check out Notes to Self right now. And okay, Look at that, coming in a little under the time, huh? Listen, thank you to all you Denver Startup Week, all these years. One year I got to speak either right after or right before Elon Musk's brother. And I did not have as cool a cowboy hat as he did, but I did my best to win the crowd over. And I think I did pretty good. That was about 3 years back. So I'll just say, to all the Startup Week peoples, thank you so much to Castle, all of her team, all the people who are always so nice getting me there. So, cleaning me off when I would get to Denver, with the big brush and the bucket of suds, that whole team that did that. Thank you so much to Mike Arts, my buddy, Mike, and everybody over there at 621 battery 621, everybody over there at the Public Works. Great group of people, awesome shit, awesome work, awesome weird rigs. Go check them out, get a running start, over in Calumet Street there. I think that's how you say it. Calumet Street. I don't know how you say it. And then of course, every one of you who listened. Thank you so much for taking this ride of the mind with me. I hope I wasn't too one note. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a couple laughs. Hope you thought about a couple things. To everyone listening, this one, of course, is always for my dad. You guys be safe. Stay curious. Be creative. I know, dare I say, be compliant. Let's get through this shit together, as safe and curious and as we can, you guys. So take care. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to come back to Denver again and do it in the flesh, and just let you climb all over me, Denver. All over me.
Next year, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right. Do we have time for Q&A, or should we have 5 minutes just to burn here? Should we do the speed round where Castle, you come on here and show me, should I release? I'll stop the share. I'll stop the steal. There it is. I'm stopping the steal. I'm stopping the share. Any questions? Anything? We've got, what have we got? We got 4 minutes. That's a lot of time. Nothing. I don't know if I should go into the chat. I don't.
There's some comments in the chat. I think some people watch this on YouTube as well. So then there's like a separate audience.
We got a couple things in here. Squeaky Tiki says agreed. So thank you for agreeing with me on something. Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
You're the king.
Yeah, you're the king. You guys got to shoot a little higher. Holy shit. Look at Dana McDermott. I met you at Creative South. Love your style. Thank you. I remember you. There you are. How do you say it? Danae. There you are, Danae. You little piece of nougat. There you are. So cute. I don't know. Any beard care tips? Yeah. Don't trim it. There is no, what do you call it? Like, a couple of years ago, a guy called me a metrosexual. So what are you even talking about? Like, you're trying to come up with. I said, listen, man, I don't like shaving because I get this like stubble. You ought to see my back. But I get these weird ones every now and again that come out to about here that have just been growing for like I haven't shaved since 2012. Until it's ordered by a court. This is what you got to deal with. Looks like a Brillo pad. Look how gross. Look at all the gray coming in. God, I'm getting so old. I don't know what it is, but my hair hurts now. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did your dad play Santa?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Do you think you will?
I don't know about that shit. He had no shame. Me, I try to keep stuff real cool and contemporary. He would do it all of December, and and just shit on all the other Santas in Northern Michigan too. He would just talk trash about him. He's like, guys, Larry, he's a horrible. You can smell the cigs, this kind of shit. Santa to Santa kind of talk. Well, he did. He played Santa all the way up until his demise, and then would donate all the money to like a Northern Michigan equivalent of like Toys for Tots. Like $7,000, And 1 year I told him, I said, Dad, you're slowing down. I kind of helped retire him. Like, you can use that money, Dad. It's not, you earned it, and he just said, no, man, these are for kids who have a bad Christmas and I'm helping them out, And then he'd also say that he was keeping his hair long in case the archdiocese called for holy pictures. I don't even know what he means by that, but just kept that option open, in case they needed someone to fill in. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys, thank you for having. Nice to see you, Castle.
Yeah, so good to see you.
On the tooth. Well, we don't need to get into it, but
yeah, keep you posted. Should be this month, I think.
Well, cool. Well,
yeah,
nice to see you. If you need any field notes, I'm with the company.
I have an account.
Castle. How dare you? I have a promotional budget. Just hit me up and I'll send you a goddamn shoebox for all your friends.
Big fan. I think
passion friends and all these people, Like, by the way, I'll just announce it right now, everybody. Castle Cersei's running for mayor of Denver next year. Announce it right now. She already has my vote, so I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Thanks, you guys. Just quit and that's it. It's all.
There's a couple more comments in there.
Okay, let me see here. This nougat appreciates it there. Good. We have a fun comment that just says, ha, ha, ha. I know, have your laughs. You're an inspiration. Well, thank you there, Jen. Thank you. Just trying to get through all this shit, and make a little bit of room to help people. I know it sounds weird. I get wrapped up in that stuff. And before, there is no paycheck involved, but it's hard to say no. I've been so lucky for so many years. I am going to be out here in one capacity or another. If it's making no money and trying to move a needle, I'll be doing a lot of that. If it's going after a stiff buck making stupid candy corn hats, I'll be doing that tomorrow. But can we have it all packed in and condensed where it's Lee and I, and then I have a new website coming pretty soon with all the DDC, and then I'll have to bring my probably brother-in-law in, because it's gonna work on a thing called phones. Heard of them? My site is a piece of shit from 2002, and it still works. And we get 40 orders a day, at Draplin.com. So what happens when it works on iPads, phones, everything? It's been optimized for all that shit. So I can't wait to let that go. We're trying to hit November 1. We'll see for the Christmas. Well, thank you, Castle. We'll see you around.
All right. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.